Welcome to Career Junky TV, your hub for honest conversation for the beauty industry professional. Look, I get it. We all are at different levels in our careers. Our journeys may seem different, but you know what? There's someone out there with a similar experience, and we're here to bring you beauty industry professionals who will share their stories, wisdom, and insight in hopes that we can help you take your dreams to the next level. No more dog eat dog industry. CJTV is here to bridge gaps, force inclusion, and give it to you straight. No holds bars, without judgment, and out of love. Oh, did I mention we just might crush a toe or two? So be sure to stop by our complimentary bar on your way in and grab a few band-aids, cause this just might hurt a little. You ready? Okay, let's grow. If you are new to our page or new to us, period, we are Career Junky TV, and again, we are the honest hub for honest conversation for the beauty industry professional. We are here to motivate, educate, inspire you to your dream levels, whether that's through our stories, through our expertise, through our wisdom. However we can get it to you so that you can get to your next level, we're here to do it. If you don't know, I am Elle Moniece, and I am actually the founder of Career Junky TV. And today there's no guest, but I am your special guest. So I've told over what to talk about because there's nobody here to interview me. And I think I want to do, or I know I'm going to do, a story, and not per se story like you would think, but I'm going to do a story of just loss and perseverance and being in position and how to pivot. So if you're just tuning in, be sure to share this out to a beauty professional or just to your platform, because it can reach and help anybody. And if you have any questions, make sure to just comment them down below. So as you know, I recently made my debut as an educator at the Brunner Brothers Hair Show, and gotten a lot of inboxes about teaching classes, because I had a class a few months ago, and I got a lot of inquiries in my inbox about how to become an educator. And if you see me looking down, I'm just trying to make sure the feed is good. And many people ask me, how you do it. And I give them an answer. And my answer for how I've done anything is I've assisted and served my way into my position, in which I feel that is the foundation for everything. But more often than not, they said, okay, or I know how to do that, or yeah, I know, in so many words. So it left me thinking, what was your real question? I think the underlying question was, can you put me on? Can you put me on? The question really isn't, how do you do it? And maybe they meant it, but not in the way or the tone in which it was asked. The question is, how do you put me on? And I want to address that because I know in the beauty industry, we like to think that we all have it together, and we are actually going through, and we think that nobody can relate. Everybody else looks like they have it together just like I do, but no one can relate to me. I don't know what to do, but I'm not going to ask them because they look like they have, hey, Toronto, they look like they have it together, and I just can't swallow my pride to do it. The thing we have to get over is that we don't know it all. And in order to elevate in our careers, we first must serve. Or if you go to school, you have to learn what you need to do in the beauty industry. And don't shoot me with the, oh, they don't teach me what I need to know so that I can prosper in the beauty industry. There's pros and cons to that, and then there's things that you can do. The basis is there's something that you have to do on your own. So when you go out and you're looking to elevate in your career and you don't want to be taught by somebody in your industry because you feel like you know it or you should know it, you're doing yourself a disservice. Yes, in order to elevate, you have to serve. Yes, Destiny. So I feel that many of us need to swallow our pride so that we can get to those levels that we secretly dream of, that we secretly want to get to and grow to. But honestly, we don't know how to get there. You're going to have to connect with somebody who's doing it or has done it because they need to teach you the thing you want to do. You can't just jump on the stage and be great. You have to be able to tell me what goes on. You have to be able to tell those people who are assisting you behind the scenes what they need to do. But if you just jump on the stage, who says that you're going to free fly that you're going to win at that? You may fail because you haven't done the orders. You haven't done the steps. You have not learned that thing in which you need to learn. But that's just one part of my thing. Before I ever got to Brunner Brothers in 2006, I'm going all the way back. In 2006, I was faced with a decision of making a decision I didn't want to do. I needed to do it. The Lord had told me to make it, but I didn't want to do it. And I held on and I held on and I held on. And it kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And it was just uncomfortable to the point that I just said, okay, Lord, I'm tired. I'm tired. And what that was a bad relationship. I don't know how our relationships and our friendships can affect us tremendously, how they affect our careers, how we carry whatever we're going to into our workplaces. But the Lord had told me to leave that relationship maybe about a year and a half, 2 years prior, but I kept holding on. And in the end, because I held on so long, I don't know, maybe I was meant to hold on so long. I'd like to decision that if I leave now, I have to lose everything. Not some. Because for one, I was what are you holding on to that you should have walked away from? What are you holding on to that is stopping you from being blessed? Have a relationship and kept going on, I know that I wouldn't be here. Guys, can you see me? Can you see? Okay. Uh-oh. Is it back or back? My screen is looking clear. Let me tune in. Let me know if you guys can see me. Reason? Okay, great. So what are you holding on to that the Lord has told you maybe to walk away, or you know that it's not serving you? I was in, it's off and on. Oh man, that sucks. Let me know. We're going to keep rolling. Let me know if it freezes again. Okay, good, Toronto. So I was holding on, and I won't get too deep into it, but I am going to get a little bit deeper so that you understand. I was in this relationship that was toxic. Poured over into my career. I was doing well in my career, I would go to work, but I would go to work so mad. I was at a point where I didn't talk to anybody in the salon. I would go to work, talk to my clients, do what I had to that, and I would come home. And I was holding on to something, again, that God told me I had to let go. And then after that, once that ended, after I prayed, I was literally praying to God for like 30 days, like, release me from this. I get it. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is not life. But this was after so many other things happened. After I almost could have lost my life dealing with this situation. And I said, okay, I'm tired. But once it got to that point, I had to walk away from everything, and I suffered and hated to fail at anything. And I'm going to say that again because I hated to fail at anything. I thought I had to be the best. I thought I had to know it all. I thought if I didn't know it, I should be working on knowing it. Yeah, there's a long, long way. I had a fear of failure, but in that moment, one decision caused me to fail in every area of my life. I had to walk away from my job. At that point, I had lost all my money. I was losing my house. I lost my relationship, whatever that was. I'd lost me a long time ago. For what? I was at the peak of my career, might I add. And I had to up and move back in with my parents, something else I didn't want to do. So I say all this to say that was actually November 2007. No, November 2006. And I took a year off. So I didn't really, yeah, guys, thank you so much. Please share. So I took a year from life because I wasn't good at this adulting thing. It was hard. It hurt. I was broke. I was broken. I didn't know what to do. I know what I wanted to do, but it wasn't in my favor. So I took a year off from everything, and I was depressed. People don't talk about being depressed and being in the beauty industry, or just being depressed, period, especially not in the Black community. And after that, it was like, okay, you got to do something. So if you know me personally, you know that I'm up all night, like a horrible insomniac. Yes, he would take it all the way just to start you back over. I'm a horrible insomniac. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get money. I'm going to make money. So I got a job in a convenience store overnight. I re-enrolled back into college. And then shortly after that, I kind of merged back into the salon. I'm doing all of this at one time. When the weekend came, I literally hadn't slept since Wednesday. But you know what? I grind and I did what I had to do to put me in a position that I needed to be placed in. Get back into the salon, but it was always part-time. It was always this nudging that it was never enough. And then at the nudging of family members to get a real job, because who really relates? It doesn't look like what they think it should look like. It doesn't look like what they think it's supposed to look like. So you should just do like us. job because you're a burden. You're a burden. Or I just want you to be better because sometimes it's out of love. And so I did all of those things. I went and got other jobs, and I would be working in the salon. There was a time where I was full-time. I was in the salon full-time, but I was working part-time. Okay, am I back, guys? Any of you can relate to that? You're in the salon all the time, full-time, part-time. Your ends aren't meeting. Okay, I'm back. So I just promoted myself. I put myself out there. I put out the best work that I could, and it was good to me. It was. Life, this clientele that I want, because sometimes we have to take what we can, and so I was in all of the clients that which was a plus. And I just worked and I worked, and then I got another job at the Nudging the Family, because you know, a real job. And the job was amazing initially, and then it turned out to be the devil. Like, it's the worst job I've ever had. And I pleaded with God. I had been praying with God about my hair career. You know, I need you to take it somewhere. I don't know what, I don't know how, but it has to be something better. And then I get this job, and then it turns out to be Satan himself. And I'm like pleading with God, like, okay, if you can make this job better, because now I'm working full time at this job and I'm rarely in the salon. Rarely. Maybe 2 days a week, because it's taking all of my time and I can't take it. So if you can out God, just work it out. If you can put me on a better schedule, then I can do both. And you know that if you ask him, he'll show up. So he answered. He honored that prayer, and he gave me a better schedule. I can now go to the salon every day. But then, same week I got the new schedule, I would get the worst customer I ever had, and I was done. I didn't quit immediately, but I took off every day that I could take off. I took off vacation, holiday, everybody else's holiday. If I could take it off, I took off. But it was what I prayed for. Look at that experience now, because ultimately I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. I have no idea what's going on. To a hair show that I initially, well, I said I was going to, but then I said I wasn't going to go to. And the Lord laid it on my friend's heart to come and tell me that I was supposed to be at that show, and that if I could get to where I wanted to be, that I had to come out of my comfort zone. In order to get what I never had, I needed to step out of my comfort zone. And she was all confused about it coming to her. So, yeah. So I went to that show, and I met some amazing people. And if you've been watching the series, you have seen the first 2 people that I met. And the Lord talked to me through the whole show. He connected me with the people that I needed to help me with that nudging that I'd been feeling, to help me, push me into my next level, into what would be my dream levels. And it was ultimately the best thing that happened to me. But there are so many things that happen in that. A lot of loss, a lot of failures, a lot of long nights, a lot of crying, a lot of praying, a whole lot of praying, and a lot of begging. Begging God, that is. But in that, I found that serving and gleaning was my ultimate goal, was my ultimate, I won't say my ultimate goal, but was my ultimate bonus. It helped learning everything that I could, even if it wasn't something that I did, being pushed out of the nest, being told that you can do it and go for it. So when I started going on to the next journey, I started at trying different things and auditioning for different things in production and behind the scenes, which is my ultimate goal, stuff I want to work on. And so I would learn all that I could when I wasn't working in the salon, when I wasn't working behind the scenes, so that I wouldn't have to get ready, but I'd be ready. And I would get callbacks, and it would be really, really good. I would get real great feedback and be invited back. But I need you guys to know that there was so many other things, so many losses, so much hurt within that journey of pivoting and leaving the salon. After that worst job that I ever had, I would close a salon with my best friend to open another salon that I would close within 4 months. And then destiny invite me to come to Brunner Brothers. Now, I do want to tell you guys about this because I think a lot of people get stuck right here. Right here. I don't have it. I don't know how I'm going to get it. So just not going to take the opportunity. Although it's an amazing opportunity. It's the opportunity that I've been waiting for. But I don't know how I'm going to do it. So I want to say 3-4 years ago. I don't remember when I first started working with Destiny at Brunner. And she invited me. It was August. And I said yes. And the closer it got to the show, I didn't know how my yes would come to fruition. Up to the show, I had less than $200, and I rented a car with 99 of them. I went to Atlanta with the knowing that I won't eat because I experienced. Atlanta, so I didn't have to worry about lodging. So I didn't. Like the first day, I didn't eat. I may drink water, ate some chips that maybe were available at the table, but other than that, like purchasing food, and I had to pay for parking. But the experience trumped everything. The experience was everything worth the sacrifice of getting there. And oftentimes we stop at the sacrifice or stop before we get to the sacrifice because we don't want to we don't really one part that we don't think, and right on the opposite destiny side. If you just push through, if you just, I have no idea. Okay, hold on. Okay, we're back. If you just push through, if you just figure it out, do what you have to do. You don't have to sleep all the time, and you definitely don't have to eat. And I know I sound crazy for saying you don't have to sleep and you don't have to eat, but we fast, we go days doing other things with little to no sleep. When it comes to the things that you really want to do, when it comes to trying to get to your next level, there are going to be sacrifices. On top of the sacrifices, life is still going to be kicking your butt. Kicking your butt. But the goal is to persevere, to push through, and to get to the next level. It's not going to get easier, but your endurance builds, and you get to gain on top of that, to learn and to get the experiences for the things that you need to go to your next levels. But if you never take the chance, if you never take the risk, then you've gained nothing. And you're still right where you don't want to be. Talk about where you want to be. We have to be willing to lose something to gain something. We have to be willing to connect with people, and not on a I'm gonna use you type of thing. I don't want anyone to think that, because the industry is so full of people trying to connect to other people because they want to use them. I'm not looking for that. I don't want you attached to me if you want to use me. And again, I don't want you attached to me if you want to use me. Connect with people genuinely. If you're being genuine, people can feel that. Real people, especially if they got God in their life, they know something about Jesus, they can feel that, and they aren't going to want to connect with you. So you have to be willing to sacrifice, be willing to fail. I know earlier we posted on our page about failure is preparing you for success. We're often scared of failure. I'm guilty. I just wanted to say that. I hated it, but once I realized, like, now I know what doesn't work, so I'm like one more step closer to what does. Or now I know that doesn't work at all, so this, it doesn't always become easier, but you get it. You ever had that light bulb moment and you get it? That's what it becomes. So you start doing the things. And I want to address this. It dropped really, really quickly. I want to address this. Oftentimes we want to get there to the spotlight, and I think I touched on it in the beginning. Get to the spotlight so quickly. We want to be right there where everybody on Instagram is. We won't go there, but we want to be in the spotlight. We want to be that key player, that main player. We want to be that person that is just that person. You know, we want to be Instagram famous. Social media famous does not always pay, and social media famous does not always equal longevity. We have to stop wanting the quick route. You have to now. If you get it right now, you have to fail in front of all of those people. We know what that looks like. We see it in Hollywood every day. So enjoy your journey, because while you're the lesser person, nobody's checking for you, you get to fail. You get to tweak it. I cannot stress this enough. You get to fail and tweak your plan. By the time they realize that you're somebody to be reckoned with, look, you're 40 steps ahead of them. You're untouchable. You're unstoppable. They can't deter the plan because it's so easy to fail in it when you're not in public. It's harder. Okay, there we go. It's harder to fail when you will. It's harder to fail when everybody's looking at you. I'd rather be the I'd rather be the person that no one knows and fail and tweak it and get it right and fail again and get it right. And then once you see me, I've been doing this all along. New to you. But and then you get to that. Enjoy your steps. Enjoy your tiny momentums. And progress is progress. And it's one step closer to where you want to be. So I don't know who this is for. I didn't plan on getting really personal, but I guess I took you guys down memory lane. But to sum my story up in a portion of it, I'm leaving out chunks of it, guys. If I just talked about the last 2 years, I would have to tell you about, if I said the last 2 years, I would have to tell you about suffering, like having a major breakdown in silence. That's just a little bit. Losing a sister-in-law and really suffering behind that. So life doesn't stop as you grind. Life doesn't stop as you pursue dreams. You just have to figure out how to make it all work. You have to figure out how to press through the pain. My story is one of uber losses. I lost, I failed, I've cried. I've walked away from God. I kid you not. Most people won't be honest and say that. But we have to admit that sometimes we're disappointed. Yes, it gets very tough. We get disappointed and we compare where we are to other people. And that was like one of my things. So I was like, God, you know what? You ain't doing it for me. I'll do it myself. But nobody will admit that. They won't say, oh, I walked away from God. We feel like we love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you? But then you get to the grace and the mercy is that you get to come back. And I got to come back and say, you know what? I'm sorry. Because even then, even when I call myself walking away, you still blessed me. You still took care of me and you watched over me. And I thank you. But it doesn't make it get easier. Hey, Tondela, thank you for joining. It doesn't get easier. So you have to figure out what you want to do in this industry. I always like to leave, if you're have been on season 1, watching any of those or tuned in, I always like to leave little gems to help you based off the topic. And since we talk about failure, loss, perseverance, how to just get over it and push through it, I just wanted to tell you about 4 ways maybe, or a few ways that can help you press through whatever you're going through. And just, you know, don't be as hard on yourself or feel bad for failing, because we all do. We all have been there. We can't deny that. It's just a part of life. So sometimes when things aren't going wrong, or we failed at something, or whatever the case may be, it's not looking like you thought it would. Sometimes you need to rework your plan. Because it's not that what you're trying to do isn't feasible. It's just that maybe you need a different strategy. You need a new perspective. You need to look at it from a different perspective. You need a new idea. Sometimes if you just sit it down for a moment and come back to it, then you see what you were missing, or you see how you can do it better. And sometimes reworking the plan absolutely means that you have to scrap it all together and come up with a new one. Be okay with that. It's okay to do that. 2 is to know that it means you are one step closer to getting it right. So as I said earlier, failing is okay. You're one step closer to where you're meant to be, one step closer to where you want to be. Try to look at it from fresh eyes and just know that if you keep at it, you'll figure it out. 3, I want to say fail faster. Start knocking out your goals, even if you think that you won't succeed, because the odds are you may not, but what if you do? So don't look at it as, oh, if I do this, all the things that can go wrong. Start thinking about all the things that could go right if you make it happen, if you do the things that you need to do to get those goals or those dreams manifest. And then I have 4 is failure is okay. We're hard on ourselves for failing. We feel like if I fail, man, it's over. They gonna talk about me. Everybody gonna know. Forget about that. Do it for you. But from your heart, do it for what you're needing to do. And don't be so hard on yourself.